Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. So today I want to get into a lot of different downloads and messages that were coming through during my meditation today. As you guys know, sometimes when I sense these downloads coming through, I will write in my journal and then use those journal entries as reference points to do these channeling transmission videos. So that is going to be the style of video that we're doing today. If you are new here, then I do want to introduce myself as well. My name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. So what I feel I'm going to title this video, and the first message that came through initially is, why this love follows you through every timeline, but never seems to stabilize into a relationship in the physical 3D world. Not to say that it couldn't ever stabilize into that relationship, because of course, you are the conscious creator of your life. You have the ability to shift your energy, to shift your frequency, and to align with any physical timeline here on planet Earth that you desire to experience. And if you have the ability to imagine anything that actually speaks to the fact that there is already a timeline version of you living in that dream, where it's not only a possibility, but a reality. And those are what our desires truly are at the core. A desire is nothing more than us intuitively glimpsing into a potential timeline where something has become a reality, and it's us reaching for that timeline at a soul level. So I don't know why I felt guided to say that. I know that it's not necessarily directly related to what's coming through, but maybe that's a bit of a side message that someone needed to hear right now, that if you have some kind of desire that's coming up for you, know that this is because you're getting a glimpse, a window into a timeline where that is an accessible reality. So anyway, to get back to this love that follows you to every timeline, the words that came through here most strongly were stabilizer and supporter. So the sense that I get is that there is something happening between you and this person on a soul level, on an energetic level, where you are actually stabilizing and supporting one another, even if there is no communication, even at a distance, even if you never see or speak to this person again, because maybe you've decided that you don't necessarily want to connect with this person in the physical. And that's perfectly okay. That's entirely up to you. But what I'm getting is, regardless of the level of physical interaction or conversation, it doesn't seem to matter when it comes to this specific connection, because you always sense this person within you at some level or in some way. And this is because your souls are constantly in collaboration at a higher self level. Something's coming through very strongly as well. And I keep getting the word soul mission, that somehow the two of you are assisting one another in your soul's mission. And that is where this stabilization factor is coming into play. You are stabilizing each other on some kind of unique soul mission here on planet Earth. And I'm getting it has something to do with unconditional love at the core. Now, the way that unconditional love frequency manifests itself in terms of whatever you consider to be your physical mission or purpose, I feel like it could look a myriad of ways physically in your life on the surface. But at the core, you are breaking down barriers that have prevented people from accessing that frequency of love. And I'm getting that for many of you, this connection actually played a huge role in teaching you how to love, but very specifically, how to love yourself. I'm hearing it was an initiation into love. And I'm getting that during that initiation into love, this may have been more so when you and this person were interacting more in the physical world. And I'm getting as well that there were many aspects of that initiation that were very painful, because in order to initiate you into love, you had to learn all of the barriers that were preventing you from fully connecting with that energy of love. So I feel as though this connection was very mutually triggering, that it brought to the surface every barrier, every limiting belief system, everything, every wall that would prevent you from accessing your own self-loving frequency. And I'm hearing something about lessons being completed. So at some point, I feel that you received that initiation, you learned how to love yourself. And ironically, that lesson being completed, you learning how to love yourself, actually seemed to disconnect you physically from this person, because I'm hearing ultimate test. I feel like the ultimate test of your self-love in this connection is, do you love yourself enough that even though you know you are spiritually connected to this other person's soul, even though you know that you're always going to feel them within you, do you still love yourself enough to do what is best for you in this physical world, to nourish yourself, to allow yourself to experience true support, care, affection, affirmation from another person that shows up for you physically? Do you love yourself enough to put yourself in environments of emotional safety and thriving, even if that means physically disconnecting yourself at least for a period of time from this person, choosing to let go of the physical form of this connection? And again, this doesn't have to be permanent, and this reading will not be for everyone. So if this isn't connecting for you, don't worry. Of course, always listen to your intuition. This reading may not be for you, but I'm picking up on a group here where it's like the ultimate test of self-love in this connection finally was letting this person go, at least for a time, or pulling back your energy, your communication, protecting yourself in some way, loving yourself enough that even though you feel this person's very soul within you, you are choosing loves, people, situations that nourish you, that show up for you, that support you. So this situation has become very complicated for the group I'm channeling into here, because that lesson has completed itself. You chose yourself, and yet there's something happening where you've become, sorry, I bumped my microphone there for a second, but you've become very accustomed to leveling up yourself. But I'm getting that you've noticed something very strange, where every time you level up, every time you shift timelines and you think, this person's going to disconnect for good, or I'm no longer going to feel them energetically, they surprise you by continuing to follow you to that timeline. Now, this gets into a very quantum conversation, because it's difficult to describe in human physical words how to know that an energy is following you into a new timeline. But I guarantee you that if you felt drawn to this video, this is something that you understand at least intuitively or not consciously, because it's something that you've been through many times. So I will do my best to explain it, and you will most likely be able to identify this in your life. So what I mean by saying that they follow you into every timeline is shifting timelines is essentially shifting your frequency consistently enough that it aligns you with an entirely new bandwidth of experiences, encounters, perceptions, belief systems, people, opportunities, and manifestations. And this is a very comprehensive thing. So when you shift timelines, you don't just shift for one area of your life. Even if you are using one particular manifestation as kind of like a set point to help you shift timelines overall. For example, maybe you are trying to heal something or manifest a success in a certain area of your life. It's almost like you can dial in the frequency of that manifestation and really align yourself with that frequency. But when you shift onto the timeline where that manifests, it's very comprehensive in the sense that that timeline comes with many other different types of people, relationships, experiences, potential opportunities because of that shift in frequency, regardless of what your kind of excuse was or reason was to shift your frequency. All the same, that frequency changed. So what you attract in all areas of your life will shift as well. So often when you are someone who is on this path of perpetual growth and evolution, as I feel you are constantly leveling up. You're constantly shifting your frequency higher, which, by the way, makes you very unique, because most people will not massively shift their frequency even once in a lifetime. And if they do, it gets labeled a midlife crisis, or it gets made fun of or called something like that, because they shifted their mindset and shifted their reality so quickly that people around them start labeling them in certain ways, maybe even calling them crazy, saying that they've lost their mind, or like just they're suddenly changing their whole life. Those are types of ways that people who never have the courage to level up will judge people who do, even once in a lifetime. But the thing about you is we're way beyond leveling up once in a lifetime, because you are constantly leveling up. People have given up even trying to kind of like mentally keep up with all of your leveling up. Now, the thing is, every time you level up, you notice that certain people shift in your reality. So you notice that certain people will fall out of your life. So maybe you won't be able to communicate with them as much, interact with them as much. They may even suddenly seem to kind of change because of how they're reacting to your new frequency, your new energy. Not everyone likes when you level up, because it can illuminate things within them that they don't want to see. So that happens sometimes as well. And so you're most likely someone who has frequently changed friend groups, environments, maybe even physical locations, jobs, things of this nature, because every time you take this quantum shift into a higher timeline, you entirely alter your frequency, which entirely alters many different aspects of your reality. So I get that you are someone who has very few people. Maybe you refer to these people as like your core group, your soul group, your inner circle. Maybe for some of you, you've not even found these people, and that's completely okay. It is a very rare group. It's a small group that can actually keep up with you in a sense, meaning a group of people who, like you, has the ability to shift through timelines, and who is also connected to you something much deeper than any of those material shifts or things. They're connected to you at the core. So these are your soul family, people who have some level of soul resonance with you, which means your connection with them isn't based in karma. It's not based in lessons. It's not based in anything superficial, because all of those things will change very rapidly. You will complete karmic cycles, you'll complete lessons. Those types of people will fade out of your life, and anything material or superficial keeping you connected to certain people is very likely to change and shift as well. So the only way for people to truly continue connecting with you consistently is for them to actually have a core resonance with you, to be part of your soul family in some sense, to share something with you at the core. And so I feel that your life has been a series of moments where you've had to have the courage and the wherewithal to say, I am choosing myself and this leveling up over the certainty that I'm going to be able to maintain these certain relationships and connections in my life. And this is very difficult, but it's also your path, and you know deep down that it's your path. Most people will choose to settle on a particular timeline because they will find themselves in a relationship, a connection, a friend group, a situation, and they will have an awareness that if they choose to level up their energy, there's a chance those individuals will not be able to come with them. This is why it takes a lot of courage to be on this path of perpetual expansion like the one you are upon. But I get that you've had this courage and you've continuously leveled up. And maybe there was a time where you wondered if this particular energy would continue following you, or maybe you thought, at some point, I bet they're just going to completely fall out of my life, my energy, my reality. But you were willing to take that risk because you loved yourself enough to continue choosing your highest vibrational reality, regardless of who was able to connect with you there. And the surprising thing is, I feel like every time you level up, and I wrote this down, this person pops up or reappears in that new reality. Now, maybe not physically. Again, this depends on your circumstances and your level of communication with the person. Because for some of you, them showing up in this new reality may just be them lingering in your energy field, you still sensing how connected you are to them on a soul level, because of course you are very, very intuitive. So you're capable of sensing when someone is still connecting with you at that soul level, even if they're not contacting you in the physical 3D world. And so it's almost like every time you shift timelines, you wonder, will I still feel a connection to this person? Will they still be there? And yet they still are. You still either hear from them, see them, seem to cross paths with them, or you just feel their energy. And so what I wrote down here is you never evolve out of them because they are within you, which I guess is a bit of a riddle, except the riddle may be solved by saying that this may just be referring to the fact that this person is connected with you at a very deep core soul level, even if at many times in the physical world, their human self hasn't necessarily shown up for you in the ways that you've truly needed to be loved, or in the ways that you've desired to experience in a physical 3D connection. Regardless, there's something connecting you at the core. And something very important that my guides were wanting me to emphasize is you are doing the mission right now, because I feel like there was a time where you thought that in order to fulfill your soul's mission here on earth, you needed to be in active physical conscious 3D collaboration with this other person because you could feel how strong the energy was between the two of you. But the message that I'm getting here is that support is already taking place between your souls. You're already stabilizing each other. You're already helping each other in this really deep, energetic kind of way. And I get that this kind of tension arises when there's a part of you that wants to make it look conventional, that wants to put it in some kind of a box or label this connection in some way that makes sense. And of course, that's a perfectly natural human response to what's going on here. But a strong, strong message is coming through that it does sound so simple, and yet I feel it could be so transformative to someone's mindset when it comes to this connection. And the message was, relax and allow it to be what it is. Because again, you already are fulfilling your soul mission here simply by showing up in your life, by choosing yourself, by choosing self-love. And I feel that there's a lot of tension being created, maybe even a physical stress or just a mental tension, as you kind of wrestle with trying to label or understand or make something concrete out of this connection that seems to follow you from one timeline to the next. And the message coming through is, it's safe for you to put that down. It's safe for you to just simply move with the flow of this, to allow it to be what it is, because it just simply is. I'm hearing, don't fight what is, just allow it to be, and allow yourself to continue moving into your highest realities, because this connection is something that is supporting you, and that's very mutual. Your soul is supporting this other person's soul as well. And in that, this mission that you've had to support and stabilize each other, it's being fulfilled already at that deep core level, regardless of how you choose to define it in the physical world. And that's another message coming through. It's that there's no wrong answer in how you decide to define this. I'm hearing it's really going to be up to you, and that you don't even have to decide right now, that you can choose what feels good for you. You can choose what feels most aligned for you now or in the future, whether that does mean keeping a separation, keeping a distance from this person, never defining it, or whether it means defining it in a very concrete, traditional, conventional way, or anything in between. So I know this was a bit of an odd message, but I really hope this reached whoever needed to hear it. And I also want to say that if this is connecting for you and you would like to have assistance in continuing to evolve into this highest version of yourself, staying aligned with your highest vibrational timeline, where all of these magical manifestations and opportunities and things are unfolding for you, I really recommend my highest vibrational timeline subliminal meditation. This is one that I've currently been using quite a bit the last few months because I've found that it really helps me keep aligned with my own personal highest energy and highest vibrational outcomes in my life. I really began sensing the shifts from this even after just one listen. So you can give it a try completely free with a 7-day free trial account in my Subliminals app. The app is named Sound and Soulful, and you can find it in either the Google Play Store or the Apple App Store. Now, I know that many of you are already members on the app, and if so, you can find this Subliminal by searching Highest Vibrational Timeline in the All Audios tab in the app. So when you do sign up in the app, you get access to every subliminal I've created. I have over 130 of them for all areas of life. You can listen in 10 different background sound options. You can read the affirmations that I've embedded within each track to deeply reprogram your subconscious mind and shift you into your desired reality. You can also create your own custom private playlists. Subliminals are the #1 most powerful tool that I've personally discovered for myself to transform and manifest in my own life. So I love sharing them with all of you. And again, the name of the app is Sound and Soulful, and there's a direct download link to it in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. Of course, if you resonate with my content, I would love for you to subscribe, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself. And otherwise, I am sending you huge amounts of love, wishing you a beautiful remainder of your day, and I will connect with you here again in the next video.